Hi, I'm Nan Simonson, and today I'm doing an ode to Chef AJ and Plentiful Kiki. Chef AJ recently interviewed Plentiful Kiki for the, second, third time. And if you don't know who Plentiful Kiki is, she is a woman with young children who I believe 7 years ago, lost 70, 80 pounds and kept it off with a whole food plant-based diet, transitioned her entire family to whole food plant-based. They are thriving, she is thriving, she's kept the weight off, looks terrific, and cooks beautifully. Well, probably a year or two ago, saw her do a quick little, I think it was an Instagram video of her rice and broccoli and cheese casserole. She said it's quick, easy, and when she was talking to Chef AJ, several people asked her about her best ever cheesy sauce. And I thought, I know where that is. That is with her recipe for the rice and broccoli casserole. I thought, why don't I just make that for dinner tonight? And if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna show you. So what I just did is that I boiled simple, potatoes and carrots. I'm gonna throw them into the blender because I'm gonna then make a cheese sauce out of this. Simple. We're going to put into the, we'll call it the beaker of the KitchenAid. I'm gonna put salt and garlic and onion powder. I'm going to put chopped cashews and buy them in pieces, raw cashew pieces. They're far less expensive that way. And I'm going to put in nutritional yeast, 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. I have all of that, and then I'm going to add back in, because when I strained the potatoes and carrots in the pot, I saved I saved all the water, but I'm using 2 cups. I could use more, and I have the rest of it here. And I'm gonna blend this. Let me put a couple of teaspoons of, this is my Meyer lemon juice, that when my big, beautiful Meyer lemon tree is full of lemons, I pick them, I freeze them, put them into 2-cup containers, freeze them, and then have them throughout the year that way. So I'm going to put this into on the bottom. It's going to get noisy. Excuse me a minute. Push it down one time just because it's a good idea. If you could smell this. Now, it's not in her recipe, but I'm going to, just because I like heat. I'm going to add some sprinkles of cayenne. All right. Stir it and taste it. I've made a cheese sauce similar to this and used some other ingredients. Instead of onion powder, I've used actual onion. I've used roasted red bell pepper from the jar or from what I had roasted, and I love that in a cheese sauce, but I'm sticking strictly to her recipe. Oh my, that's really, really good. Okay, so what we're doing now, what did I do with my big spoon? I have 5 cups of broccoli And this was so simple because now her recipe calls for 6 cups of rice. I didn't have 6 cups of cooked rice. And so I brought all the proportions down. As a matter of fact, this is probably too much cheese sauce for it, so I may not use it all, which gives me cheese sauce. She called for 6 cups. I had 4 cups of organic cooked brown rice. And therefore I reduced the number of cups of broccoli down so that I had the proportions that she was using. So I'm mixing the brown rice. You could use less brown rice, more broccoli, but again, I'm sticking to her recipe. And I usually play with recipes, but I wanted to, in an ode to her creativity and what she does so well, I wanted to do it exactly. Now I am putting it in a pan that would have been the size she would have used for the entire recipe, a 8 by 11. But I didn't have anything that I liked that would have held this the way I want it to. And so it's going to be a thinner casserole, but still just fine. I'm going to use most of the sauce, but not all of it, because remember, I'm using less of the solid ingredients. And oh, this looks so good. She said her kids love this, and I'm trying to come up with, because I have the family here for Thanksgiving, and we have 3 children, a 3-year-old, a 9, and a 12-year-old. And I'm trying to come up with a Christmas meal. I just won't do anything meat-based. So what they're going to get is a vegan meal. I thought about lasagna, and I thought, I'm gonna have a very busy week. I didn't want to deal with lasagna, and I thought, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll do pozole, because the Hispanics will quite often do traditional dishes for the holidays. And the person who runs our farm store that I'm always purchasing our weekly supplies from said they do pozole, and I have a great pozole that I actually think I have on my YouTube channel, because I made it just recently again. And it's a really neat family meal, because you got the soup and then everybody gets to add things to it. Well, I thought I'd do pozole and have this casserole, and I thought that would be cool, and then do taquitos, vegan taquitos, which I've been playing around with. Okay, here we go. Doesn't this look good? And again, I could have made it saucier, but well, I'm keeping it pretty well proportional to what she had done. And let me get a little bit more sauce out of here. All right, that is definitely good enough. And because these ingredients are not cold, even the rice I put in the microwave at a little bit more power than it would have been at defrost, just to warm it up. If you cook it at high, everything on the outside gets too hot. So I always do it at one of the lesser powers. And then we're going to put some crumbs on it, breadcrumbs. And what I had that was gluten-free was panko crumbs. So you know what, I'm gonna add, now I'm playing, some of the broccoli's not covered, and I wanted it to be covered in sauce. And then I'm gonna put the panko crumbs. See, I could have put more sauce on it, but look at all the sauce I have left over that I get to play with. Oh boy, oh boy. And there's a little bit of garlic powder in the panko crumbs. Okay. And this is what I used because that's what I had. Okay. So we're gonna have crispy, crunchy. She said you could spray avocado oil on the crumbs if you're not oil free. to get a little bit more crunch from them, but I think they're gonna be fine. This is the dish. I'll bring you back on to show you what it looks like when we're finished, okay? I'm putting it into my Breville oven. Love my Breville hot air oven because this is the one I'm gonna take it off of convection. Because this is what I do my taquitos in. For Thanksgiving, we had taquitos and some other things. And with soy curls, I've recently discovered that. And they were delicious, they went like crazy. And it was so great to be able to make 30, 40 taquitos, hot air oven, and crispy as if they were fried, but without a drop of oil. Okay, I'll be back to you and we'll look at the finished dish. Thank you. Oh boy, it's dinner time. So while this was cooking, on top of the Breville oven, I put my plates. I really like warming plates so that we have a warm plate to put food into. This is, let me gussy it up. Too hot to pick up. This is our finished casserole. Look at this. And if I had given you, or if I had made the full recipe, it would have been probably about an inch higher. Feed a lot of people. Although what we're looking at is we only have in here, remember, 4 cups of rice. And the sauce has no oil in it. It's just potatoes and carrots. And I have an entire cup of it left over. So calorie-wise, this is a lean, wonderful meal, meaning, and this is one of the reasons I like not using oil, that we can eat a lot of it to satiety, these comfort foods, the rice and the potatoes and the grains and the legumes that are whole foods, that are plant-based, as close to nature as possible. So I made, well, before I do that, let me show you what I have that I'll put on the table. We have fresh fruit. I always have fresh fruit at the end of a meal. We don't need dessert. Well, once in a while we do, but that's whole food, plant-based too. This is grapes and melons and watermelon. And then if you've watched my videos, you've seen this before. It's still summertime, not really, here in Southern California. The tomatoes are still at the farm store, and as long as they are, I keep buying them. So this is cherry tomatoes halved, and Kalamata olive, and cucumber, cilantro, red onion with a balsamic vinegar. I use the Napa Naturals Reserve or California balsamic, and again, no oil in this Greek-inspired salad. And so we have our vegetables, we have our fruit, we have our grain, and remember there was broccoli in this as well. So let me scoop it up. Oh, this looks so yummy. Look, look, look. Look, look. Isn't that pretty? And I know the way I like things. I could have put more cheese because this is plenty saucy, but I could have had more cheese, so I could have used more of it, but because proportionally I didn't make that much food, I didn't. But what I was going to say is, I know I'd like a little bit of salsa on the side of this, and you might think, what? Well, we're here in Southern California. Cheese and rice, salsa. I could have even had beans on the side. And that is our meal. I'm Nan Simonson. I am whole food, plant-based, a culinary trainer, and a health food and wellness and lifestyle coach with a lifestyle medical practice of Dr. Wayne Geisinger. And this is how we eat. We have eaten this way going on 5 years now. I'll be 72 in 5 weeks and feel healthier and more vibrant than ever before. Whole food, plant-based, eat as close to nature as possible, and love the food that loves you back. Have a great day because I know I'm going to. Bye-bye.